Today I'm very excited to share with you what might be the most ambitious and audacious trip I've ever taken in my truck. It's also probably the most meaningful. For the last 10 years, I've been dreaming of exploring in the deserts of Baja. There's something about that wide open desert and all the stories and history of the Baja Peninsula that's just created a gravitational pull for me. I'm not sure why, and I don't even know why I need to go, but I haven't been able to stop thinking about it for the last 10 years. As I turned 40, this pull became unresistible. But I didn't want to go with a big group. I needed to go alone. I'm not sure why, but I knew from the beginning that this was a solo trip. A solo trip to help me find myself. I'm Baja bound by birthday.
What's up, guys? My name's Kyle. This is my 2023 Jeep Gladiator AluCab. We're out here in the Sierra Mountains heading south to Baja after we just finished up the Ruby Tracks Invitational, and it is popping off here at Golden Hour with these beautiful mountains. This is going to be a pretty fun trip. It's part 2 of the series. Make sure you watch the Ruby Tracks Invitational video that we posted just last time, and come with us all the way down to Baja for the second leg of the trip. We started off in Canada last week. We're ending in Baja. Baja by birthday. Let's go.
Pra bater palma e pra tocar tambor. Entra na roda, o maracatu me chamou. Pra bater palma e pra tocar tambor. Entra na roda, o maracatu me chamou. Pra bater palma e pra tocar tambor. Entra na roda, o maracatu me chamou. Pra bater palma e pra tocar tambor. Gira, girou, gira, gira, girou, no atabaque, no agogo. Gira, gira, girou, gira, gira, girou, no atabaque, no agogo. Entra na roda, o maracatu me chamou, pra bater palma e pra tocar tambor. Entra na roda, o maracatu me chamou, pra bater palma e pra tocar tambor. Gira, girou, no atabaque, no agogo. Gira, gira, girou, gira, gira, girou, no atabaque, no agogo. Entra na roda, o maracatu me chamou. Entra na roda, o maracatu me chamou.
All right, well, we found a campsite. A little tough in this area because you can only camp in designated areas, but pretty cool. Some like big rocks everywhere, and we're camped right in the middle of them. We took what looked like it was maybe a more intense way in, of course. And yeah, so it was a pretty long drive down here from Tahoe after the Ruby Tracks Invitational. And as I said, my plan is to get to Baja by birthday. My birthday's on Wednesday. Today's Sunday. I turned 40 on Wednesday. And my goal is to be sitting on a beach in Baja ideally with a sunset, and definitely a cerveza to ring in the 40th year of my life. So I took off from Vancouver, BC last Tuesday night, spent the weekend in Tahoe on the tracks, and now we're here in the southern Sierra Nevada mountains, more so on the California side. And tomorrow we will probably keep moving. I've got to sort out Mexican car insurance and then get some extra diesel and get some DEF and get across the border and make sure that I'm all square. So gonna sign off for the night, get some sleep. Pretty tired after the Ruby Tracks Invitational, and looking forward to tomorrow. This is gonna be a good week.
All right, good morning. Had a good night's sleep, although it was quite windy. The tent was definitely blowing in the wind, and it was a good night's sleep though. I went to bed a little early. We rolled in pretty late last night, and it was a little difficult finding a spot, to be honest with you. In this area, there's a lot of really beautiful spots, but a lot of them are marked day use only. And everyone wants to get a view of this, basically. So I kind of went over to the area where you could get the best view. The camping spots over there were all taken. And then I found myself over here, and I don't know if I took a wrong route or a wrong turn or something, but I kind of wheeled my way in through here on this little goat path and found this pretty nice spot. Well, I wouldn't call it a goat path. It's obviously a motorized trail. Anyway, still got a pretty beautiful view and these amazing rocks that make you feel like you're on Mars, to be honest with you. So the plan today is I'm just gonna pause for a minute and make sure everything gets kicked off at work with the team today. And then I think today's gonna be a bit of a prep day. I got a little bit more research I gotta do before we cross the border in Mexico. I think I got it all figured out more or less. I'm gonna go through the Tijuana or San Ysidro border crossing. I need to get my Mexican car insurance because my BC car insurance won't work, and then there's also a spot that I can stop right at the border and get what's called an FMM, which is basically like a foreign immigration permit or something. Anyway, from there I can run pretty much straight down, probably go through Ensenada, but my biggest question mark at the moment is just gonna where I'll camp, and I don't want to camp too far north near Tijuana. I'd rather get past that whole mess, to be honest with you, and out into the coast in the country. So I gotta do a bit more driving today. I'll probably put in 4 or 5 hours. I gotta get an oil change, I think, too, and grab a little more def just for good measure. But yeah, today's gonna be a bit of a travel day. We'll still do a little bit of exploring, I think, along the way, but be a bit more of a travel day and a prep day, getting ready to cross the border into Mexico. And if I cross tomorrow, then on Wednesday I should be in a pretty good camp for my 40th birthday. So it's gonna take a minute to take this in because wow. All right, let's get the rest of this trip on the go.
Tight in here. It's like a maze, some sort of labyrinth. As I wandered off into the desert for the first time on this trip, I reflected on the question of why this trip has meant so much to me. I've been through a lot in the last couple of years as an entrepreneur, a father, then a husband. I can't say I haven't done things for myself. I certainly have. This truck is a great example of that. But what I know is I didn't give myself the space. That audacity, that great audacity that I felt ever since I was a little kid. Is both what's pushing me now and also what almost destroyed me. But we must keep moving. Because there's blue skies ahead, more mountains to climb, and views for days.
And we're back to the pavement. Time to get some miles underneath us. Heading south. Baja by birthday. Let's go. Alright guys, well I decided to take another little detour off the main road and just explore up to the top of I don't know if you call it a mountain or a bluff, but I've been doing that along the way for a couple of reasons. One is just to kind of get a different perspective than the highway, but also to show some of the landscape progression as we travel south. One of my favorite parts about these long road trips is the progression and change of the terrain and the environment. And you just can't really see it completely or experience it completely from the highway. So every so often I just say, hey, I wonder where that goes, and I follow the road up there, and it's a great opportunity just to get a different perspective. And check this out. Come up here and it's just, you can see for miles. Hopefully the wind's not too bad there, but look at all those trails. Oh man, I'd like to go down every single one of them, but I'll never get to Baja by birthday. So yeah, we're going. We're just in the real desert now. Finally, I'm starting to dig it. The Sierra Mountains is amazing, and it's kind of a mixture of desert and mountain, but now we're into the proper desert terrain, and this is what I've been waiting for. So the plan right now is I'm gonna keep heading north, or sorry, the plan right now is I'm gonna keep heading south and probably somewhere around Victorville, try to stop and get some gas and some water, maybe some extra def, and then it's sort of a planning and prep day. I might also get an oil change you know, why not? It's good for the truck. Who knows what it'll be like down in Mexico. And then mostly I just have to prep my border crossing. I need to get my insurance. I might be able to do the FMM online, but otherwise I think I'm pretty much good to go. The main thing I got to figure out is where to camp, and I just put a message out on social media to see if anyone's got any tips for me. Otherwise I'll be using Overlander, and my goal is to get to that camp spot by tomorrow night and then spend all of Wednesday hopefully on a beach with a cerveza, because that's when I turn 40, and no better way to turn in 40. Anyway, just taking in the view, and we're gonna get back on the road. Wash this, watch this washout here. There's a big one on the right. And that's the 395 down there, so we're gonna get back on the 395 and push pavement through probably to all the way to Victorville. See if we can't get ourselves an oil change, some def, some water. And that's pretty much the program right now. All right, well, we camped somewhere a little more mainstream today, as you can see by the building and hear from the generator. We're in a state park just outside of San Diego, which I figured would serve two purposes. One, I can get a shower. Two, it's gonna be a good staging area for the border crossing. What I didn't expect was this. Holy cow. Yeah, just reflecting so far, this has been a pretty amazing trip. San Diego and the area around here isn't necessarily my favorite for overlanding. There's not a lot of options. I could have went further inland, but it would have made it for a longer drive tomorrow. I need a shower. So I thought, what the heck? We'll pay to play, get a view, get a shower, and then tomorrow we just need to get our car insurance, because BC car insurance doesn't work in California, and I need to get my driver's license printed off and some pesos. I'm hoping I might be able to do that all at the same place. So, gonna eat our steaks and whatever food and beer we have left tonight, because we can't take them across the border. And now that the sun's down, get a good night's rest. I'm still working while I'm doing this trip, so I gotta manage that as well. Super grateful. All right, I'm gonna channel my inner Just Jeeping adventures here. we've got some nice thick steaks. Whew. Look at that. Let's get it on. All right, checking in. We are now in Mexico. I didn't film a whole lot before coming across because I was basically a little nervous. It's the first time that I've done a land crossing of an international border by truck, and there was some logistics that I had to figure out that required me to kind of focus up. So I had to get car insurance. I decided to get the comprehensive car insurance for the truck and the camper. It was a little more expensive than I would have liked, but you know, you never know what could happen. Better to be covered. I also had to go by the immigration office and get what's called an FMM. I forget the exact terminology, but it's basically the immigration paperwork, and you have to pay a small fee. And then once I had that, I went through customs. I got pulled over for a minute. I think they just wanted to kind of see the AluCab, take a look inside, and then they let me through, and I am now driving down the coast, the scenic coast, towards Ensenada. And I stopped in at Off-Road Warehouse this morning and grabbed myself a set of Max Tracks. I got 4 of them, which I'll eventually mount on the side once I can find another Expedition Essentials mount. But for now, I just wanted it in case I get into any deep sand or I need something for leveling, and I just have them up in the Pelican case. So I stopped there, and the guy was super helpful. Showed out Off-Road Warehouse. He showed me all of these kind of cool spots that he's been down here. So I think I've even got some places picked out that I should be able to camp today or this weekend. I'm just gonna pull into the beach here, and we're just gonna take a quick look at what I'm driving up through. Well, there you go. There's our first glimpse at Baja Beach life. This one's looking a little sad. This is clearly like a tourist one. We got these horses that are chilling out here. And yeah, we're gonna keep pushing. Our goal is to get down past Ensenada. I might just stop here for a minute and finish that thought. So yeah, we're across the border here in Mexico. I think I've got a couple of beach spots that from the guy at Off-Road Warehouse. I'm gonna try to push to those. They're a little south of Ensenada. I got one meeting I gotta take in about 35 minutes, and then my goal is to get some supplies. I need some food and cervezas, and then go find camp. And ideally, I'll be staying at that camp all day tomorrow to celebrate my birthday as well. So fingers crossed the rest of the trip goes smooth, and I'll share some more tips about what I learned coming across the border at some point here, so that if you're coming down to Baja, you know what to expect. It's a pretty smooth process. It wasn't as hard as I thought, but there's definitely a few steps you gotta pay attention to. Basically, car insurance, currency, FMM, then get through customs, and there's a toll road right out of Tijuana that if you take that, it's pretty smooth sailing right down the coast. They call it the scenic road, and so far it's pretty scenic, so we're gonna keep on driving. All right, well, I'm past Encinitas, and I put out a message on Instagram looking for places to camp, and the homies delivered. I got a message from V. You can follow him on Be Right Back Gladiator, and he apparently knows this area very well, has some friends, and his dad's down here, so he pointed to me to a couple spots and actually hooked me up with a local guy who I'm going to try to find right now, named Mario. And then supposedly Mario is going to point me to somewhere to camp that I should have all to myself, and we'll take it from there. So love you guys so much. Thanks for hooking me up.
Well, we did it. This little strip of dirt is part of the Baja 500 track from the old days. from dust to glory. So fitting. As someone who started from nothing and has found their way to where they are. Driving this road might be one of my most amazing accomplishments to date. And to arrive here on this historic beach just in time for my 40th birthday is just too real to believe. You know when they say life can be like a movie? I think this is what they mean. But realistically, I never would have got here on my own, even though I'm solo. I owe a lot to all of you, especially those who reach out, help me find my way, whether it be a waypoint or in other ways. These moments in time are something that I'll always share with all of you. I just wanted to say thank you for an amazing birthday present.
Alright guys, I may have found paradise for the first night in Baja. Alright, well, real quick, let me fill you in. Did the long drive down from San Diego. I shouldn't say long, but first time across the border, kind of stressful. Started posting on Instagram about where should I stay, and the good homie V chimed in to let me know that his uncle has a place down here. So I rolled up and met Mario and Guapo, and Mario played a little joke on me like he didn't know I was coming, but these are some of the warmest people ever. Whole bunch of nice dogs here, and it's right on the beach, and the camp is right here, so couldn't be more excited to have this. And we're just hanging out on the balcony watching the sunset, so I can't believe this. This is amazing. All right, well, that's the end of today. Tomorrow I turn 40 and we made it to Baja. I'm super grateful to Mario for letting me crash at his place. These guys are super welcoming, and this adventure's just beginning. We're gonna be going the rest of the way down Baja, most of the way at very least. Just spent the last hour chatting with Mario about all the different places we could go. We're gonna sit down and watch the Padres baseball game, and tomorrow morning I'm gonna get up, take a business meeting, and then figure it out from there. So we'll check in then. Day one in the books.